Hello all and welcome to the Australian Grand Prix of 2022. It's George Russell on pole, Mercedes back to the fore, and then Max Verstappen second, Lewis Hamilton third on the grid. Now we've seen that Mercedes race pace did not match their qualifying pace in Jeddah. Is it going to be the same here? Sergioperez fourth on the grid. Ferrari, we were hoping for the battle between Red Bull and Ferrari, but Sainz only fifth. That's the highest Ferrari. And then Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo, sixth on the grid. Daniel Ricciardo on the week that he has confirmed that he will be staying at McLaren for 2023, lines up seventh. Charles Leclerc somewhat disappointed with his eighth place. Lando Norris ninth. McLaren maybe not quite so quick this weekend. It's a shame because Lando finished in Jeddah. Where he would have been second in the World Championship going into this race on 27 points. But, of course, failed to finish on the very last lap, last corner. Alonso and Ocon in the Alpines, 10th and 11th. Albon then 12th. Guan Yu Zhou 13th. Stroll 14th. Tsunoda 15th. A very disappointing performance from Sebastian Vettel in 16th place. And then we've got the two Hasses. And then behind them, we've been saying that Pierre Gasly has been underwhelming in qualifying so far this season. Well, this performance, it might have the same result, but it wasn't as bad as it looked. He got a bit unlucky with the timing of his last run and dropped to 19th, but he was certainly more competitive than he's been the last couple of weekends. And Nicholas Latifi, as ever, rounding out the grid in 20th and last place. So here we go then. George Russell starting on pole. Max Verstappen alongside. How much pace will Mercedes have in this race? It should be harder to overtake than it was at Jeddah. That might help them. Let's see. Russell away well. And Max Verstappen is sitting behind him. Lewis Hamilton's going for it. Russell's trying to box Verstappen in so Hamilton can get up into second place. That's not happened. Max cuts across the line. What's happened to track limits, guys? They're all over the place, aren't they? George Russell still there. And Verstappen trying to attack around the outside. Lewis Hamilton having a look down the inside. This is a Mercedes chance to try to get a win, but it's not going to happen now. Max Verstappen is through. He has made his way past George Russell. That was, to be fair, I think pretty expected, but Mercedes were trying to lock him down into third place while they could. Now they can't, and you've got Verstappen leading and pulling away quite comfortably. Remember, he hasn't won a race yet this year. He's fourth in the championship with a second and a seventh, I believe. But Perez is trying to now have a go at Hamilton, trying to get the Red Bulls up there, trying to get them another 1-2. Hamilton hits the wall slightly, and Perez does as well. Oh, what's this going on? There's no damage to either car, we don't think. Sainz is still in fifth, and then the rest behind. Well, Perez going everywhere to try to find a way past Lewis Hamilton. He wants to be off and up and after his teammate. But Hamilton having a little look at Russell. This is a good battle for second place here. Max Verstappen pulling away. But the Mercedes definitely want to have a go. And Hamilton is starting, I think, to just focus on, well, we say starting to focus on holding back Perez, but then he has a look at his teammate again. And Leclerc is up in the sixth place. So he is performing well. Both Ferraris up in fifth and sixth. So they're doing the minimum they expect. And Alonso, another one running against the wall. I'm guessing that the physics of the game aren't picking up all these wall hits on this race, unlike at Jeddah, because we would probably be down to about 10 cars by now if that was the case. We're seeing a lot of scrapes in the barriers, and then and Verstappen is being caught. So has he got an issue, Max Verstappen? Because he is being caught. He had the pace comfortably in his hands, but no, it's not working out. And yeah, definitely a physics issue. George Russell halfway into the barrier in his attempts to pass Max Verstappen. But it looks like George is all over Max. Well, could we have a surprise winner for the Australian Grand Prix? George Russell is having a look. He's going to go for it. Mercedes might get themselves on the winners list for this season. And could they even be the third team to get a 1-2? Because Lewis is right there and Perez isn't particularly waxing Lewis's gearbox now. But Max has got to actually concede first. Well, he's had to, I think, there. George Russell goes through around the outside. And George Russell could be looking for career victory number one here, because Max Verstappen's not looking great, although he's still having a look around the outside. He's still trying to put up a fight, but he's got Lewis Hamilton coming for him, and this could be interesting. It is Max, but Max hasn't given up on the victory yet. Might have had an issue, but he's trying not to affect him. Verstappen has another look. Maybe just shows how quick the Red Bull actually is, that even with an issue he's able to race and fight that Mercedes. Why couldn't he have maintained the lead there? But George Russell is the guy who is going to cross the line and get a victory, get Mercedes' first victory of the season. And maybe there is some hope for Mercedes this year then, because that is a fantastic performance from George Russell, winning the race, taking advantage of Max Verstappen having clearly some sort of issue, because Max certainly wouldn't have backed off and given that race to him. So Verstappen, second place, he will lead the World Championship through his consistency, but 3 races in and the World Champion hasn't won a race yet this season, couple of second places and a 7th. So there we go, George Russell, the race winner. George Russell, the race winner, and then Max Verstappen finishing in second place in the Red Bull, and a good performance from him. Leads the championship at the end of the day. Lewis Hamilton on the podium again, so that's good going. Well done, Lewis. Sergio Perez 4th. Valtteri Bottas 5th place. Fantastic performance from him in the Alfa Romeo. Making the most of the Ferraris having issues. Both of the Ferraris got stuck in gear, so they finished down. Leclerc finished in 9th. And Sainz, who had his problem first, dropped back further and finished down in 12th. So only 2 points for Ferrari this weekend. Apart from Saudi Arabia, they have been very disappointing. Alpine, 6th and 7th. So good solid points to them. Alonso ahead of Ocon. Kevin Magnussen, 8th. Then Charles Leclerc, as we mentioned, 9th. And Nicholas Latifi from the back of the grid, picking up a point for Williams in 10th place. Well done, Nicholas. So, the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen leads it on 42 points. Sergio Perez and George Russell, 2nd on 37. Leclerc, 4th on 30. And Hamilton also on 30. Then Carlos Sainz, 6th on 25. Daniel Ricciardo, 7th on 18. Bit of a shame for McLaren this weekend that they've been pretty strong and lasting even when they've not had the pace so far. But here, home Grand Prix for Daniel Ricciardo, and the car wasn't in that league anymore. So really unfortunate, but no points for Ricciardo and also no points for Lando Norris. So no points for McLaren this weekend. Ricciardo 18 points in 7th. Alonso tied on with him on 18. Norris on 15. Bottas 12. Ocon 10. Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll tied on 8. And Aston Martin were nowhere this weekend. They've come through for points in the first couple of races, but this was a step too far for them, I think. Kevin Magnussen then on 7, Yuki Tsunoda on 4, and the Williams drivers Albon and Latifi on 1 each. As far as the Constructors' Championship goes, Red Bull are on 79 points, but Mercedes now, thanks to their 1-3 today, they are right in the picture on 67. Can they fight for the World Championship? Or, was the lack of pace they had in Jeddah more the case? We shall have to wait to find out on that one, but they are certainly only 12 points behind Red Bull at the moment, and they'll have to be happy with that, I think. Ferrari 3rd on 55, McLaren 4th on 33, now only 5 points ahead of Alpine, who are on 28, Aston Martin on 16, Alfa Romeo on 14, Haas 7, AlphaTauri 4, Williams 2. So this season looks to be hotting up. I mean, Max Verstappen, he's still yet to win, but he does have the lead of the World Championship. He knows how to win them now after last year, so yeah, he's going to keep pushing, of course. We don't really know who's going to challenge, but we'll have to wait to find out. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.